Hey guys, Jaguar puts out these videos as fast as she. I'm telling you, I can hardly keep up with her videos. It seems as though every day she puts out 4, 5, 6. I may be overstating that amount, but that's what it seems like. So she just dropped a video about an hour ago. She's talking about Goomba's mother and how this video is going to really set her straight in the facts. And I'm saying to myself, girl, shouldn't you be going and pack? Don't you have some packing to do? Last night you checked into a hotel room because you have no lights in the apartment. You want to tell me you're all done packing from last night to now? I would think you got some little things that you need to pack, some little final things that you need to box. Put in the boxes. Look around the apartment. But oh no, Miss Jaguar is sitting there in the hotel room puffing on a cigarette and talking schmack. I guess Legina is doing the packing. You know what they used to say in the old days? You gotta earn your keep. Legina Gold, you gotta earn your keep, girl. So Jaguar is saying that she loves Goomba. Once again, she's back and forth. A couple of videos ago, she said she never loved him. She don't love him. She just married him because she needed somebody to keep her, I guess, safe because she was thinking of committing suicide at the time. And so she has maintained that she loves her husband. And in another breath, she'll say, I don't love him. And then I do love him. And back and forth, waxing and waning. So this video, she says, this video is going to prove how much she loves her husband. Well, let's hear what she got to say. Because it's always a surprise to me. I don't know about y'all, but whenever Jaguar opens her mouth, honey, my ears perk up because I know it's going to be a doozy. Let's listen.
For delivery option, you need to check your messages. Now isn't the time to be getting sloppy and lazy, Joe. You gotta get on your best foot. You're in for a hell of a fight. This internet shit. You know what it's like. You know what it did to me? I'm gonna say something to you. And I'm not recording this. This is between us.
I changed my mind after I heard it.
Of course you did.
I think your mother went to Nikki. And they cooked up this scheme. And I think you fell for it. But I also think you're smart enough to know that it's possible. You know that bitch don't like it.
She don't
And
like
all
it.
she's doing is using us for a come up. She ran around and told everybody you got her beat. Making you totally fucking untouchable and shit don't work out between you and her.
And it won't.
You gonna wear that shit like Usher now. It's everywhere. That's all anybody's talking about. Who don't want you to have nobody but them? Your mama. Your mother's a nurse. She know all about STDs. She planted that shit in Nikki's head to make you untouchable because she wants you all to herself. She don't want to share you with nobody. The only reason you ain't at our house right now is because your fake daddy don't want you there. Because if it wasn't a problem for Jill, she begged you to come back. And you know that. I'm telling you, your mother said the full thing, she staged the full thing. So she could regain control over you.
That's all she wants, baby, is
You
control.
know what that woman done to you. You know she the one that molested you. You know that's the reason why you don't remember your teenage years. You know that's the reason why you can't stop acting like a teenager. Because when you get stuck emotionally in that space, that's the space where you were violated. I'm telling you right now, I know you and your mother have had relations. The reason why you don't remember your teenage years. You know that's the reason why you can't stop acting like a teenager. Because when you get stuck emotionally in that space, that's the space where you were violated. I'm telling you right now, I know you and your mother have had relations. Mama, no, don't touch me like that no more.
He used to say that to me at night when he was sleeping, having night terrors.
Please do not destroy your life for that bitch. That's not your mother. That's your abuser. To replay your message, press 1. To delete and re-record your message, press 3. For delivery options,
Stockholm
press 4.
Syndrome is a
To
bitch,
send a
y'all.
fax, press 6. To cancel it, to mark urgent, press 1. Message marked urgent. To replay...
Stockholm Syndrome is a bitch.
Your message has been sent. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
It's a bitch. See, what happens in Stockholm Syndrome is that the abuser, the captor, convinces the person that they're holding hostage that they love them, that they're there for them.
Guys, I could be wrong, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Jaguar put out a video not more than 12 hours ago last night to say that she's not gonna be making contact with Goomba anymore? That's it. Goodbye, Bobby Boucher. And she played her favorite song. She loved this particular song. She and Goomba had a particular favorite song, and she played the song. She was almost in tears. And then at the end of the video, she said, "Bye, Bobby Boucher. Bye, N-word. You could have had me, N-word. Bye, Bobby Boucher." Didn't she do all those antics? No more than less than 24 hours, actually. She's calling him again, sending a message that this particular video is going to prove how much she loves her husband. Is this the particular message that she wanted to send? Telling her husband that his mother raped him? His mother's a child molester? His mother plotted with Nikki? And this is all their plan for her and Goomba to separate? When I heard the message, I said, Jaguar, you need to take several seats, honey. You need to get a grip with reality. Why are you wasting my time like this? I could have been washing my dishes. I could have been vacuuming my floor. I could have been making my bed. I could have been fluffing the pillows up. For God's sakes. I could have been running the bath water. Why are you wasting my time like this? Nobody got time for your shenanigans anymore. I'm sick and tired of Miss Jaguar Wright. I'm tired of it. She got my ears all perked up. I got my popcorn. Got my little soda. I figured, okay, this is going to be good, honey, because she says this video is going to set the record straight. How much she loved her husband. And it's about his mother. And I said, okay, this is new information. I know I haven't heard this one before. But you're going to come with the same ish? You think I ain't got no time to do other things? It's enough that I spend all these hours doing your videos and editing and all this shenanigans and foolishness. For God's sake, I got other things to do. I don't know about other people, but I got a whole lot to do, okay? I could have been going and do my little grocery shopping. I'm out of groceries right now. I'm sitting down here listening to this mess that I done heard. I'm going to have to I'm sorry, my Ebonics is coming out, okay? Because when my Ebonics come out, you know I've had it. I done heard all this mess. Where they do that at? Sick and tired of this Miss Jaguar Wright. Miss Jaguar Wright, girl, you wrong. You dead wrong this time. You ain't right. You wrong. Then to make it worse, to make matters worse, she started talking about her war stories with Goomba. That when he's having these night terrors, he would hook her in the jaw and grab her by the neck and choke her in his sleep and hit her by the ribs. And I'm saying, girl, I ain't got time for your war stories. You had foreplay with your husband, now you telling that it was a horror movie. It was no horror movie. That was your foreplay, okay? You can't remember, but you guys were having intercourse and you were having foreplay and foreplay and whatever play you want to call it but some people call it rough sex. That's what you were having. Anytime somebody tells me, my husband was choking me, he was knocking me out, hitting me in the jaw. We were laying in the bed and he was having PTSD and he was having flashbacks. And I was rolling him to the side, trying to wake him up. I said, girl, you were having foreplay. You were having rough sex. You just can't remember. Because if you weren't having rough sex, every time it would happen, you'd jump out of that bed and you would smack him across the, you know what? You would give him a little hook, a little, take that. That was the last time you hooked me in the jaw. That's the last time you squeezed my neck and tried to choke me out. You would jump out. If I know if it was me, I'd jump out to that bed and I'd get a belt and start whipping his ass, okay? You're not going to choke me in my sleep, but not when I'm sleeping, calling it PTSD, that you having PTSD. Choking me out in my sleep for me to fall out and black out. Oh, no. Wait for you to go to sleep, and I'm going to get the belt on your behind or a piece of stick since you like rough sex. I got PTSD also. When I'm done whipping your ass, I'm going to say I have PTSD. I was having flashbacks. I'm sorry, my bad. So the fact that you were in that bed and you jump out of that bed and try to whip one on his behind tells me that that was a child that was rough sex. You needed to have maybe a twin bed, 2 twin beds, that both of you would sleep separate. That's what I would have done. I was sleeping in a king size bed or a queen size bed, and my husband is carrying on like that and choking me out. Trust and believe. The next day, guess what's going to be coming through the door? 2 twin size beds. Oh no, you sleeping on that bed over there and I'm over here. Anytime you try to get rough, I'm calling it PTSD, you sleep on your side of the bed. Anytime you come over here where I am, over on this bed over here, I got something for your ass. I got something for that ass. Child, I would be under my pillow, would have all kinds of brass knuckles. And what do they use in the karate gym? Nunchucks. I'd have my nunchucks waiting on that ass. You come over to my side of the bed and see what happens. I'm sleeping on my twin size bed. You coming over there and trying to choke me and say, oh, you having PTSD. Yeah, PTSD, your ass back on your side of the bed. Because, ladies, you know your husband during the daytime, all the stuff that you put him through, all the cussing out, all the irritation that he goes through with you. At night, he figure you sleeping so he can get one and he's going to hook you. He's going to put one across your jaw, your belly, your back, elbow you and all this stuff here and then say, I have PTSD. In the morning, he's, oh, what happened to your eye? Where you got that black eye from? And you say, you did it, honey. And you say, I have PTSD. That's what he's going to claim. Honey, I'd beat his ass in his sleep. And I'd say, yeah, I have PTSD too. But this Jaguar, right, is one sick puppy, honey. If I'm married to a man, and let's say for the sake of argument, he is having these flashbacks of he was touched by anybody, mama, brother, sister, whoever. Child, I wouldn't be preoccupied with that. That would not make my day or break my day. I would go on living my best life with my man because at least he's out of that trauma. And so I would create a life that's so positive and put him into therapy, make him go to therapy to deal with that trauma, that I wouldn't have time to be wallowing on what happened to him as a child. But that's where Jaguar is at. It's like if she is going through what he went through. And this is all alleged because it's not proven, because Jaguar loves to tell these tall tales. Because nothing she says is proven. She says the mama touched Daryl. Can't prove it. The only way you can say, well, maybe it happened, maybe, and that's a stretch, is if he come out and say, yes, it did happen. He never came out and said it happened. So whatever she's saying is all in her mind. She's one sick puppy, okay? So instead of this woman going and packing, I know she's not done packing. Because when you're moving, it's always the last thing you got to do. You look around, you figure you're done, you look around, you say, oh, I forgot that was on the ledge right there. Oh, I forgot that was under the sink. I'm glad I remember. Oh, in the bathroom. Oh, I forgot the the stuff in the bathroom. I wanted to pack that last. There's always something you're forgetting when you're doing your moving. So Jaguar needs to go and look around that apartment and get to packing instead of being on the boob tube and talking all this ish about Goomba's mama. God don't like ugly. And I gotta tell you folks, he ain't too keen on beauty either. Because some of you got a pretty face, but bad character. All this stuff that she's putting out on this woman, it just shows how thick she is. Even if it did happen, she shouldn't have been visiting that. She should have been moving on with her best life with her husband, with Goomba. But the fact that she's so preoccupied talking about this woman, what she did do, what she didn't do, what might have happened, what might not have happened, it tells you how sick she is.
I put up with all the abuse that I put up with in my marriage because my husband is a sexual assault victim who was raped and molested by his mother, Charlotte Johnson. If I'm lying, bitch, sue me. Y'all should have been sued me by now. Everything I done had to say about y'all publicly. A rapist, bitch. And I hate rapists. That's why I hate you. If I'm lying, sue me!
If they sue Jaguar, what are they going to get out of it? She doesn't have any money for people to come after, for her to pay any monetary fees for her mouth being so reckless in all her allegations against various people.
That's why I fought so hard for my husband. Because he's a survivor, just like me. Drew, please, do not ruin your life for them.
Now, guys, for those who are watching this for the first time, Jaguar is talking about her mother-in-law. She wants her husband to hate his mother and hate the father, the brother, the sister, everybody in his family. That's what she's been working on, because she said that he was a rape survivor. She's saying the mother raped him, and everybody in the family is quiet about it. They know it happened, so she wants him to hate everyone in the family. And because he didn't do it, and because he left her, and anybody would have left her a long time ago. He put up with it for 4 years. And because he would not go back to her, now she's trying to destroy him.
Please. I promise you, honey, if you just stand in your truth.
Let it go, Jaguar. Let it go. Some people can't let go of a relationship. My God, what is going to take? What is it going to take for this woman to let go of this man? This woman promised she wasn't going to call him. It wasn't even 24 hours and she calling him. What is it going to take? Gerald got to be careful. The most dangerous time for a man is when he leaves a woman. We saw what happened in the last video, the woman on live, her husband, when he was leaving. I'm scared. I'm still scared for Gerald. Although this woman is moving out of state, I'm still scared for him.
You're a survivor. Just like me. Right, we was trauma bonded.
If you are trauma bonded, it does not mean that you have to stay in that trauma. You do not have to stay in that space. You can go get help for yourself. And if, as Jaguar said, she and Goomba were trauma bonding, that does not mean you're locked in for life in that trauma. Both of you go to a therapist and you sit down there and you unravel all that crap in your brain for you to be a whole human being and for you to function properly. You don't be trauma bond for life. That's not how this thing works. You're supposed to get help for yourself.
To be violated like that.
Oh no, Jaguar is actually crying this time, honey. Jaguar is actually shedding some tears, and I think, personally, I think she's really crying over the situation with her. She said she was violated, raped. Let's call it what it is. It's no violation over here. I call a spade over here, okay? She was raped, she said, by a family member. And so she's actually crying. She says she's crying for Goomba, but I think she's crying for herself. Because that little girl that was molested, Like I said, I call it what it is. She was raped, allegedly, as a child. Never got healing. And there again, she probably never went to counseling for it. So she needs a lot of therapy for a lot of different trauma that she's going through in her life. The Jaguar was squeezing the tears out. I saw that. She actually was squeezing the tears out. But I believe that the tears were real. She had to do all that squeezing to push out the last drop. I believe you, Jaguar. I believe that those tears were coming from the heart.
But it's time to let go now.
It's hard at the end of any relationship because you think you're going to be tough. In Jaguar's case, I'm sure she thought she was going to be tough and she can handle it. She will not be missing Goomba. Even a couple of days ago, she said, "Oh, she was better for it. She's in a better place, a better human being. She looks better, feels better, act better." But let me tell you something. You can put anything on, new hair, lipstick, all kinds of facials, and do your nails and all of that. You get all of that did, okay? But what's in your heart? You didn't fix your heart. You're fixing everything else. So, of course, she is going to be grieving the loss of that relationship. That's what she's going through now. She's going through the death of a relationship, so she's in the grieving process. And the acronym is DABDA, DABDA. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross coined that phrase many years ago, and now it's being used all over the U.S., across the board, in certain parts of the world also. So I looked up the 5 stages of the grieving process, and it says on Google, persistent traumatic grief can cause us to cycle, sometimes quickly, through the stages of grief. There is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And we can go back and forth between these stages. And it says these are our attempts to process changes and to protect ourselves while we adapt to a new reality. That's what Jaguar is going through now. Her new reality is without Goomba. Now she's trying to adapt to that. Because if she's so used to him being on the car with her, traveling across country, that now that's no longer her reality. Now her new reality is Sam and Legina traveling with her. So she has to adapt to that, and she's going through the grieving process. The grieving process is not only when a person dies, but it's also the death of a relationship. So I do understand what Jaguar is going through, and I sympathize with her in her loss of her husband, but she pushed him to leave in her. We clearly saw that. So let's get back to this video.
I can't fight for your decency and your dignity, but you won't fight for your own. You are a victim in this fight and a veteran. Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Stop all this goddamn lying and just tell the truth.
So let me get this straight. If he gets out there and say his mama molested him, what difference is it going to be? What difference is it going to make? It's not going to change her life any. So why is she on this path? I don't understand it. Because even if he gets out and say, yes, I was molested by mama, then it doesn't change her life any. She still got to get her act together and go to therapy and take her meds and do everything to get herself together. So this is not just Goomba, as she puts it. This is why I'm fighting for my husband. No, honey, you need to be fighting for your own sanity because we see you unraveling. You're a basket case at this point.
I love you.
Oh, we know that. We know you love him.
And even in the midst of all of this shit, I'm proud of you.
Oh, no, not the big tears now. Please. You're going to make me cry.
But I gotta let it go.
Jaguar, honey, you got to let it go because you pushed him away. You didn't think he had strength enough to leave you. But when you push people to that point, to that brink, when their back is against the wall, then they show you who they be.
I gotta let it go.
Damn, she said that twice. You know I want to sing that Ariel song now. Let it go. How does it go, folks? I forgot how the song go, but you know which song I'm talking about. Ariel, that little fish under the sea somewhere. But is she a little green mermaid or something? I forgot. When my kids were little, I used to remember all those things. Now I can't remember if it's a fish, a frog, a crocodile, or what. She wants me to sing that song, "Let It Go," because she said "Let It Go" twice. So that's what came to mind. And child, if you see the big long eye water, you can't even call those tears at this point. This is eye water, like a fountain. Jaguar right is actually breaking down. I thought this woman a steel. I thought this superwoman. I thought this Wonder Woman would never break down and cry. But child, let me tell you, Jaguar right is actually crying big buckets of tears. Child, I had to get my tissue. I'm crying right along with her. At least I tried. None of my tears were coming though. But I was empathizing. Jaguar, honey, get a grip of yourself. The man don't want you. You said goodbye last night. You used the metaphor Bobby Boucher. You call him Bobby Boucher because he gonna go where Bobby Boucher is at. So you said goodbye to Bobby Boucher. Now you trying to rehash. I don't want to rehash nothing. We buried this last night. I was with Jaguar when we buried this last night, okay? And I provided the shovel. I dug the hole for her. We buried Goomba. We called him Bobby Boucher. We put him in the hole. We buried him. End of story. All right? It was over and done. Now what she digging up? She digging up the dead? Now she can't dig up the dead and expect me to feel sorry and cry with her and be on that pity party with her. I'm not doing it. I buried the dead last night when Jaguar said Bobby Boucher was done. Goomba was done. She put Goomba in a hole. She called him Bobby Boucher, and so we done. What's she digging up? What's she crying over now? Look, I'm not doing this. No, child. I'm not doing this with Jaguar. Jaguar girl, you're going to need somebody else to cry along with, okay? You need somebody else to cry with you. I'm not doing this. That's the last tear I'm shedding with you. So that was the end of her life, and that's the end of me and Jaguar. I am done with crying with Jaguar. That's the first time I heard her cry. I'm not crying with her no more. I was trying to squeeze out some tears the way she squeezed out her tears, but mine won't come. At least I tried. I had my tissue ready and everything, my tissue box, and she was crying long buckets of tears, and I figured I was going to do the same thing, but it just won't come. So some of you all will have to cry the buckets of tears along with her because I can't do it. I'm not doing it. It won't come. It just won't come. So I'm not doing that with Jaguar no more. I'm not even going to try to cry with her because this is ridiculous. I hope she come up with something better than what she just came up with because she rehashing stuff. She digging up the dead. I'm not about to dig up nothing. But on a serious note, remember, guys, there are 5 stages of the grieving process. It does not apply only to when you lose a person and you have to say goodbye to that person you've lost permanently. But it also applies to relationships when you lose that relationship and you have to move on to a next relationship. It's a grieving process because it's like a death of a relationship. So, as it pertains to DABDA, the 5 stages of the grieving process, can you guys tell me the stage that Jaguar is in when she's crying? Because that crying applies to one of the stages. Drop it in the comment section. Which stage do you guys think that she's in now that she's crying? Sometimes people who put on the toughest exterior are the ones who are really the most vulnerable, because Jaguar, as we can see, this tough person is not as tough as she says she is. She's hurting, she's a woman, she's lost her husband, and she's grieving. So she's showing a lot of vulnerability. But I don't think it's enough to bring Goomba back, because the one thing she made a mistake in is having him being afraid that she is going to unlive him. If she did not put that fear in him, he would have came back. So that's where she made her mistake, and it's a lesson to us all. There's always hope in a relationship mending, but if you're going to put a fear in your partner that you're going to unlive them, that's where they will draw the line. So YouTubers, drop your comments in the comment section. I'm over now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and to this video. Thank you for watching.